What is up, everybody? Oh, we already acting a fool. Yeah, y'all gonna float too tonight with us as we get ready for this movie review extravaganza. What's up, man? Where Pennywise at? Tell that bitch I'm looking for him. He ain't got nothing on me tonight. What's going on, y'all? If y'all couldn't tell, if we doing it. Yeah, what is it? Acting a goddamn fool? Well, yeah, it's more than usual, though.
This be our Kingsman review.
I like how everybody's dressed more like a clown than Martin tonight. Martin's normal for a change. How you doing, man?
I feel good. Oh, is that what I look like on a regular basis?
Yeah, it is, man.
I got to change up.
Yeah, a little more Paisley, though. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes, we went all out. Martin couldn't join in on the fun because he had to go see a movie review.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go dressed like a clown, Martin? Also, we're going to have to get to a special guest pretty soon because we have the woman who did my makeup tonight, Kat Mitchell. She's in the background back there.
Nice.
And so let me go ahead and bring them up here. Yeah.
Take my spot. I can fix this.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Well, let's bring her on while he's doing that. Now, this is feeling kind of loose. It ain't going to come off, is
No.
Okay, good. I'm all paranoid now and everything. Oh, you want to be yanking like that?
Well, I mean, if you...
I told everyone before, this is Kat Mitchell right here. And Kat Mitchell, you are not just a makeup artist, but you, as you can see here, people, a special effects makeup artist.
Yes. That's actually what I specialize in.
What you specialize in, I got her backstory today. She's one of those people who was going to, be a grown-up. She was going to go to the serious working world, be responsible. She was going to be a doctor.
I was.
And you said that just was not your calling. She was midway through doing surgery and just dropped everything and just said, you know what, this is just...
What am I doing with my life?
Some sick makeup ideas.
Well, good luck, but this is just not for me anymore. But luckily your nurse was able to save the guy. But you said you wanted to... What's that?
Yeah, that's why you have a back.
Exactly. And like your man over there. But
You better not die.
yeah, it's me. So what?
If you do special effects, you get to blow stuff up.
You know what's funny about this discussion that we're having? Like you're talking, and every now and then I cut to me. I'm trying to seriously nod my head, and I realize I'm in clown makeup. Yes. Tell me more.
It's okay. I've had conversations with all sorts of creatures.
This makeup job that you see here now, I hired her to do this because this is a professional job that she did. Because I wanted to go full out. I wanted to get the bald head, and I wanted to get the prosthetics and everything. It was a job that I recorded too. You know, I wanted everybody to see how the process was. So we sat down here and we recorded the whole thing, and you can see how there's handsome original Korey right there. But this is
Sorry.
Fuck you. But you know, you can see how the process is for this. Like, this is, she's doing the whole thing with the latex and the ball cap, and as I said, the prosthetics right there. And I'll zoom up just a little bit because
Damn, girl, you work fast.
I know. Yeah, she had a line of cocaine or two before she did this. But yeah, this was she and a lot of this, as you can see, is not just makeup that you just kind of cake on or rub on. She's using airbrush right there for the white makeup and also for the black makeup that you see there too. So it was quite a long process that she did, and it was and you know what, I told her the whole time, I'm just sitting there, like I didn't go anywhere. I sat there the whole 2 hours. And for some reason, just looking at the progress that she was making with this, and it was just fun.
And you can't stop checking your phone.
I know, I'm sitting there for 2 hours. We ain't doing nothing. I tried to have I ain't gonna lie. I tried to have a conversation with her. We got to know each other, and then after a while, I just said, I don't give a shit no more.
I like that face right there. God damn it.
Just tired at this point. Yeah, I was just like, you're just not interested anymore.
I've actually had people fall asleep before.
So, great work, and I really appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Oh, absolutely, it was fun.
And
Fun.
it was a lot of fun. So, if you have any kind of makeup job, you're doing a project, a film, a commercial, anything big or small, please call Kat Mitchell, and there she is right there.
It's Cats, KATSSPFX. Cats Special Effects.
There you go, people. There you go. So, Kat, thank you very much. Give her a hand, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Look at this. She left her card right here, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We will. Thank you so much.
you.
Hey, man, it was great talking to you. By the way. Yeah. No, we actually had a good conversation. Oh shit! I thought you were. I was just playing, man.
On point. That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit! There it goes. The love trap theme from It. Yeah, people, you know what that is right there. That's the remix of everybody's favorite scary ass clown Pennywise right there. First, he got his acting debut in the series It, the miniseries back in the day. Now he's got a recording career over in Atlanta.
It's on a Def Jam.
Yeah,
Blowing up.
he blowing up more than balloons right now.
Listen to stuff on SoundCloud.
Yeah, so y'all know when you hear that theme right there, that clown's right around the corner. What's
There's
up?
a clown walking up to you. You like hip hop? Yo, man, get the hell away from me.
Can't you see a clown coming out of a clown?
Selling CDs from his.
I'm about to say little clown car. Yo, man, I got that remix.
He kept pulling out CDs. We didn't know how he did it. How many albums does he have in there?
Oh, people, yeah, you know when you hear that theme right there, Pennywise is right around the corner. When did this novel come out, man?
Why are you asking me?
1986 when this came out. Do you remember the miniseries? When did that come out?
The miniseries was 1990.
1990. And when that came out, now that everybody said that, you know what? That series, for anybody who has read that book, and people love that book for tons of reasons, and one of them is that it's almost a rite of passage. Like for some kids, that's the book you read. You know, that's the first nasty book you read where they saying fuck and they got blood and all kind of horror and shit in there. That, you know, that's the one. Plus, it's thick as hell. And a lot of people who have read that book, they said, yeah, that book is amazing, but that miniseries that was on TV, yeah, it didn't do that book justice. However, your boy, what's his name?
Tim Curry?
What's his name? Tim what?
Curry.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry.
I'm afraid to answer you now, man. Tim what?
Tim what? I know this makeup on. What? Tim who? What the fuck you say to me?
I don't know anymore. I just want to go home.
What you call me?
Called you a clown, man.
That's why we take it seriously.
God damn it. But
Do I amuse you?
yeah, but Tim Curry, he did leave an impression on people's minds back then. That's why they said, hey, you know what? We need that big screen version of it. That small screen was all right for some people. We need that big screen version of it. For those of you who love the book and you've seen the movie, even if you haven't, you've been hearing about this thing about to come out for years, and you know Pennywise. Well, with this is about a town, Derry. What is it? Derry, Maine, and they got a clown problem, and it's
Infested.
all the adults, they're like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. What's wrong with y'all? Everything's cool with us. But all the kids, for some reason, who go missing every 27 years, they see Pennywise everywhere. And Pennywise has a way of getting into your mind and actually messing with your worst fears and making them come to life for you. And in this one, it all starts out with a group of kids. One of them, Bill, who loses his little brother, Georgie. And he's the first one to go out and tell everybody, like, all right, goddamn, we got to do something about this clown.
Bill, if you'll come with me, you'll float too.
Surprise, bitch! Now, why you gonna open up a box in a room full of clowns? Last thing you want to do.
Especially considering that's his worst fear.
Yeah, for that kid, yeah, you know what the hell was gonna happen. And everybody's looking at this and they're like, okay, you know, I don't care nothing else about this movie. If nothing else, what's that clown like? You know, is that Pennywise? Is he gonna scare the shit out of me? That is all I want to know. And for a lot of people out there, the answer is hell yes, he's gonna scare the hell out. He's a goddamn clown. Motherfucker's a Ronald McDonald on steroids right now. Yeah, he's gonna scare the fuck out of you. You know, it's especially if you are already scared of clowns. This is like having a nightmare about clowns while being on acid.
Yeah.
They have the technology now to go in, add special effects to Pennywise, do things to make him scarier, enhance him with scary appendages and having him do like morph into scary things. And it also helps that you got just a weird ass looking person to play him without the makeup. Bill Skarsgård. Who
He's not so weird looking.
yeah, oh yeah, he is. He's that, you know what? He's that handsome weird. You know, because he got the big ass eyes. He looked like he looked like a pretty fish. You know?
Him and Rami Malek roll together.
You were desperately trying to tear him down.
Yeah, you goddamn right. How dare he be more handsome than me? Fuck him. You know, with him being so young, I didn't think that he could actually do as good of a job as somebody like Tim Curry. I thought in order to capture the not only the evil of this clown, but also just being such a predator, because that's the scary thing about him. Yeah, he's a clown, and yeah, he eats children, but you know, but
other than that, he's a pretty nice guy.
But other than that, he's cool. You know,
a chance.
Yeah, but
balloons.
He drinks a little too much, but other than that, he's fun.
You get to know him. But no, it's like, you know, it's the predatory side of him, the way he lures children in to bring them in. Like even Chris Hansen, like, no, fuck that. I ain't catching that predator. That motherfucker's gone. Hey man, you got wine coolers and anything? You need me to get anything for you?
GameCube controllers, you good?
Yeah, you got it? All right. The very first 15 minutes of the movie, they show you just the how evil and how far this clown will go to lure a child in. Okay, as much as I hate the violence towards children, that kid had it coming.
Yeah,
You know
dude,
what I mean?
what happened 15 seconds before this was when he chased that boat and he runs into a
Oh,
sign.
man, the kid-
I was
first of
like,
all-
you know what? Georgie was going to die. Whether Pennywise got him or not, in the next 2 days, something was going to take him
Yeah,
out.
Georgie wasn't gonna live anyway. Georgie's almost getting killed by inanimate objects. He's like, fuck.
Pennywise put that there.
I like the way he looked too. That kid's like, fuck.
Sure, that clown into that gutter's just like, ooh.
Maybe I should leave him alone.
Yeah.
This is almost too.
Like Pennywise set that shit up like the coyote. Except it worked this time. You know, the Roadrunner would have been like, fuck this. But that kid like, oh shit. And you know, yeah, that kid would have had it coming anyway. And that's the other thing, man. You know, it's bad enough to have a clown come out of nowhere. Ain't no circus around anything. Hey, what's up, man?
Just living in the sewer.
But a clown fucking in the sewer, man.
Is that not where they come from? I thought they were just born out of sewers.
Circus blew him away, Martin.
Clown hanging out in the sewer. He's telling you, look, I'm a piece of shit. Of course I'm gonna have it.
I don't know any kid who would see that and wouldn't immediately run to go tell somebody else, like, come here, you got to see this.
Oh, not Georgie, not dumbass
No,
Georgie.
not Georgie.
Could I have my boat back? And it's made out of paper. Like he can't go home and just make another one. You know? I'm like, yeah, you can keep that little rag in the motherfucking man. No. Hey, wait a minute. Shit.
Take the shit.
Throw it out of the sewer.
It's got nice construction and everything.
I got candy. Should have went with that one first.
I'll use a van next time.
But you know, it's and Bill Skarsgård's performance is great because you know, it's the makeup is there, and of course it has the predatory nature in him. But it's the way that he's able to capture just the right amount of. There is a little bit of charm there. You do feel charmed by Pennywise a little bit, but then he puts those little nervous ticks in there, those little nervous mannerisms. Like and you know, because you look at this kid, he's just kind of like, I can't wait to eat this motherfucker, man. he got a knife and fork in his hand.
At one point.
Yeah, there's a point where he just starts drooling as he's talking to him.
You want your boat back, man? Oh shit! I can't wait to eat your ass. The kid like, huh? I have to tell people, if you are a new parent, or you really love children, or you hate violence against children, do not go see this, because you're going to walk out after the first 15 minutes, because Pennywise will mangle a toddler in a minute.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there.
No, there's a scene where a violence against a child, a small child, where after that kid is mauled, that camera don't turn away. That camera's like, I'm putting this shit on World Star.
No.
Clown star.
You watch this.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you almost get mad at the director. Like, man, help this motherfucker, man. Like, no.
Well, really, I mean, you think about all the kids who grew up having planned play dates, or who were only allowed to play in the front yard, or you can play from right here to right here where I can watch you. It's all because of the original Pennywise. All because the parents saw that and went like, see, that's what's out there. You ain't going nowhere.
It also makes Pennywise look like just a punk bitch, man, because you know what I'm talking about?
No, he's a bitch with a capital I and a capital T when he doesn't get his way.
Man, Pennywise, because with Pennywise, he's in a town where he went in and put all the adults under a spell where they don't even know he exists, but he's out there picking on the smallest kids, not even teenagers.
Yeah.
There's a bully in town with a switchblade. Pennywise don't even fuck with him right now.
Hey, Henry's dangerous, man.
A kid who's a psychopath.
Why don't you go after him? Have you seen that kid? No way.
Pennywise, that motherfucker got a weapon. I ain't fucking with him. He picks on girls, little kids.
But you guys are nerds. I'll tell
yeah,
you.
he on the nerds in town. Yeah,
They call themselves the losers.
the losers. Yeah, I'll go, that sounds like somebody I can rock with right there. And also, you know, if the kid's if the kid is a teenager, he goes and picks on the skinniest one, and all
Or the fattest.
all the fattest,
Yeah.
and also. There's a point with with Pennywise where if he gets ganged, he can pick people out one at a time. But if he gets ganged up on, then he'll be like, "Hey, now, hold on, Pennywise don't want no trouble now, right?" Pennywise say it's cool, huh?
I'm just joshing you. I'm joshing you.
Come on, you kids can't take a joke.
But now that we got Pennywise out the way, I have to say that I really don't feel like it's the horror in this. It kind of stops at Pennywise, and this is just me. I would say that the movie's kind of minimal on horror, between there being clowns in the movie and people just being told, "Oh, it's Stephen King," and also this is this is going to be a scary movie, the scariest movie that you've seen this year. People are buying into the hype. But I think that if you really look at this, what works with this is that it's a coming of age story. It's Stand By Me with an evil clown in it.
Yeah, it's like Stephen King went like, let me rewrite that, but put some of my Stephen Kingness in it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Put my kingness in you.
Man, you wrote so many books. You know you wrote one that had no horror in it? Oh, that can't be.
Yeah.
Let me take another crack
No,
at that.
put my Stephen Kingness in it. Mr. King, can I talk to you for a moment, please? Is that wine coolers and a book in your hand?
No, it's
But-
cocaine. But thank you.
Thank you. Also, I guess what made it feel like there was the horror was at a minimum for me was that this is set in the 80s. Now in the book, I believe it's 1958,
I want to say it's 53.
53. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, that makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
for this to be the 80s, it so often didn't feel that way.
No.
Except when they would play some of the music ever so often. It felt more like the 50s. But I was like, well, maybe Maine is just one of those towns where they
Yeah.
just never got out of that.
Oh, I think
I saw it.
I think one of the things that they were hoping for was that the small town would cover up for anything else. You know, that like the shortcomings of this being transplanted into the 80s. Well,
Yeah,
it
go to
may feel-
Derry and set your watch back 30 years.
Yeah, no, it's like, you know what? This is a town it's so small that it has that old fashioned feel no matter what period it's in. And I think they want to rely on that feeling to cover up for this being brought into the 80s. But it's very, there are times they really force some 80s stuff in there, the shirts and the songs and
The marquees on the movie.
yeah. What was it?
Batman and Lethal
yeah.
Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
I saw 5. I'm like, 5 was not out at that time. but one of the things that really adds to the coming of age story, it feels like an 80s Spielberg film.
Yeah, it does.
It's I got a lot of that Berg thrown in there because these kids even when they have scenes where they're supposed to be tension, where they're supposed to be leading up to something frightening, it still has more of an adventurous feel to it. Like these kids go off into the sewers and they're trying to discover this thing on their own, and it gets to a point where it starts to feel like the Goonies.
What if I don't want to find them? I mean, no offense, Bill, but I don't want to end up like...
Shit. Did I say that loud? Hey, man, you know I'm just playing, right?
But seriously, I don't want to end up like that.
And these kids is what really helps that feeling. These kids I thought these kids were pretty cool, man. I thought that they were great. None of them, they go from good from great to good, but then none of them are really bad. And I really like that kid right there.
Yeah.
He's
Jack
my
Dillon.
favorite.
He was my favorite too. He's like a little coked out rat.
He acts like a little old man throughout so much of it. too.
Yeah.
It's like it's in my other fanny pack.
He's taking pills all day.
I don't want to get asthma again.
Yeah.
Like, chill out, dude.
That's what he's like. He's like a little chihuahua. He's always trembling and shit. Yeah. My mom said I can't go in there, man. That kid is really great, man. And they have their standouts here. Like that actor right there, he has mannerisms like an adult. And that's how some of these kids really nail, man. They have these mannerisms where they fight like people, not in their 20s, but in their 30s, almost their 40s. And there are some standouts there. Probably the one that had to capture the most maturity because their situation was the most messed up was the chick that they had in there, played by Sophie Ellis, man. She's supposed to be the same age as the kids, but she's the bad girl. She smokes, but her situation, which is really it's I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's on par. Probably worse
than everybody.
It's worse than man. It's worse than any clown. She's got some shit going on in her family. You know that even Pennywise is kind of like, I ain't going to your house. Shit, why you think I'm in this fucking sewer? Because all these adults are messed up in this town.
You can see how like all the other parents actually like, no, this is why I want to keep you here, and hers is like, you should probably go. You should probably live in the sewers with the clown.
yeah. And also, here's another thing.
Did it freak you out how much she looks like Amy Adams?
Oh man, you know what? I didn't see it before, but I see it now.
That's all I could think the whole time.
Yeah, shit, maybe it was Amy Adams. No, she's really good, man. It almost, and I don't want to sound like a creep myself, but I just kept wondering. I was like, is this girl really like 13 or 14? Because she seems so much older. Now, don't be looking
Just
at me.
stop.
No, don't.
And
No,
you wearing clown makeup.
Clown makeup too, man. That's not good. Right in the sheet right now.
How old is she? Oh, you're not buying it?
No.
Okay.
Put the cuffs on.
Wow, rough crowd. Get in the fucking car.
You're gonna go find 10 more of you and put them in here too.
If you like your kids innocent and fun-loving, and you like to see them not be adults yet, well, then you do not want to see this, because these kids are just nasty. These kids are always fuck this, fuck that. All these kids are talking about let's measure our dicks.
Fuck your mom.
Fuck your mom. They're
the kids from South Park.
yeah, hey, pretty much, man. And and you see them, and it gets weird sometimes because they start stripping down. Like the girl gets down to her panties and stuff. They got out there swimming half naked, almost skinny dipping. It's like, wow, man, these kids. This is some shit that you just don't want to know about kids. Kids are out there. I mean, if they're not, out there like cursing really bad and smoking, out there trying to carve other kids up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what town is this where you get to do that and nobody steps in or says anything?
It's
in the 90s.
Yeah, it's a town with an evil fucking clown. I think anything goes, man.
I guess.
Yeah, these kids are very mature.
But it's just movie bullies are all psychotic on a level that belongs in prison. And I'm like, hey, I've been bullied before, but never like what I see here.
That kid, Ken Wolfhard, he's got the nastiest mouth. Every time they're talking about something, I don't know. He's always got to make something dirty. Everybody's talking about, man, it looks like a beaver dam. Yeah, there's a lot of damn beavers in this town, right? Get anybody with me, fellas? And people are like, shut the fuck up, man.
But we laughed though.
But he's like this little kid. He's so horny, man.
He's 13, man. Of course he's gonna be that.
But all
way.
the other kids know how to maintain. He's like, they always catching him with his dick in a drainage pipe or something. Jesus, there he goes again. Come on, man.
Stop being so predictable.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, because we're gonna stick on the kids right now. They were really, really smart, but they were also like really dumb. Like that, did that not bother anybody else?
It bothered him. I heard Martin's like, God damn.
Because they're like, they figure out like, this is what we got to do to not be murdered by this clown, and then they do the exact opposite by the smallest thing.
Somehow the concept of staying together
Yes.
evaded them over and over again. And I get it, they're kids, they can't think of everything, and they're in a tense situation. But the one thing is like, we're in danger. We already figured out that we need to stick together, and they just keep breaking off and going off on their own. I'm like,
man, like
for fuck's
you're like, they're teenagers, and like I know if you were like 10 or 11, you're like, all right, I understand.
I know,
but they are teenagers doing this shit.
It bothered me too. I saw that. Like sometimes Martin looks at things in movies, and I hear him out loud, oh Jesus, I'm like, man, just cool down, man. But then at that moment, like, yeah, he's right. Yeah. That one kid, Bill, the one that lost Georgia, like, we gotta stay together, everybody. Hold on, hey, Pennywise.
It's not even like something alluring. It's like 100 grand sitting there. And somebody's like, "Hey, you, what?"
I know. Because the movie just gets goofy sometimes, man. That's the thing about it. Within the horror, I don't think it's bad, but within the horror of it, it just gets kind of silly because, first of all, they got this town, Derry, Maine, that for the most part, it's a small town. It might even be a stereotypical small town, but it's pretty rooted in reality. And it's funny because while Pennywise spends most of his time in the gutter, he's got a little real estate too on the corner. That's right. And that's it. And
He's just waiting for gentrification to come there.
and the shit that the house that he got, which very much suits his decor, his feng shui, but it's the house looked like something out the Addams Family with that Tim Burton tree in the front.
Every time they showed that house, I had the theme from the Munsters playing.
And it's like police tape there, like whatever crime happened here happened a long time ago. Y'all can take this shit down.
Yeah, we're looking at the house right now. It is a cartoon, not a cliche, but a cartoon haunted house.
Yeah.
There's bats flying around that shit.
Monster House.
Yeah.
It looks like Monster House. And
Back to Spielberg.
And then when they when they go in there, they actually have. Look, I'm sorry for we need to pay Scooby Doo royalties at this point because we keep bringing it up. But they do have a Scooby Doo moment where they're all running around in different directions. They even have the different doors that they got to go into.
I expect to hear the monkey start playing.
Running from a clown, yeah. It's not funny anymore. And you know what? And that's why I was laughing at that part at the end where they had that little kid going to the room with all the clowns and everything, because it is a cartoon moment that they have, because he gets split up from everybody, like we were talking about, and they all get split up, and it turns into the Three Stooges. Where they even have they even have reactions when they see something like, and I was like, man, it's hard to kind of be scared when that moment is happening right there. And on top of that, that's when you have Pennywise, who, not that look, none of this is bad. It's actually fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think some of it is very intentional because the way those doors are even labeled, it's like I cracked up at that. Like I think a lot of it is meant to be fun, which I was not expecting, honestly, just looking at the trailers.
Yeah, Pennywise at that moment actually turns into the Joker for a little while, where he's like he's up in kids' faces. He's kind of mocking. Your mommy, and I was like, bitch, fuck you. You know, it's actually making me mad. But
Wait, so you did feel like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I felt like that during those moments too. Like, come on, man, you gonna kill me or not?
Yeah,
Like, you got me dead to rights. Go to get this shit over with.
yeah. I was like, you know what, you're evil, but you don't have to be a dick about it.
I'll save you for later. Why?
You got the Losers Club, and those kids are great. Outside of that, I think everybody is kind of flat. I don't think everybody is that well developed.
Well, not even all the losers are that developed. Because we haven't even mentioned the black kid.
Oh, that
Who had, wait, maybe 6 lines?
Yeah. Little Cuban Goodwin Junior.
The fourth.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because that kid's name is Chosen Jacob.
The first chosen.
I know. Might as well call that as Black Moses, man. But you know something? That's the thing. You know, we're gonna talk about the black kid, and we'll talk about the development of the characters. As we talked about, the adults are creepy in the movie, but that's about as far as they go. A lot of the adults are creepy, or they're just irresponsible, and they don't go into too much more depth with them. None of the adults at all. The other thing is that, back to those damn bullies, man. You know, that's like they just go through town in a Camaro, just hunting kids to pick on.
They're terrorists.
These are very Stephen King bullies.
No, they are.
Yeah.
And Stephen King, for as great as a writer as he is, and you know, the guy's a legend. He's a genius, but his bullies are flat.
That not only are they flat, but they're all murderers.
Yeah,
like
they are.
They aren't content just to beat the kids up and harass them. Every time he writes a book with bullies, they're always at the point where they're about to murder a kid.
Yeah, and
I'm like, well, so what's supposed to happen after you do that?
Exactly. And that's the kid. I forgot who played him. I think he was also the kid in The Gunslinger, the other Stephen King book.
Oh.
And movie, but the
lot
kid
of callbacks here.
I know, man. Yeah, he's in that Stephen King family.
Oh, you thought he was the Dark Tower kid?
I think so, but he was. I think he was in the movie, I believe. But he plays Henry the bully, and that kid. Look, he's scary. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if Stephen King wants you to be scared of a 14-year-old kid, and you're a grown man. Like if I lived in Derry, when I saw him coming, I turned right the fuck around.
He tucking your chain. Yeah. Yo, Henry coming.
Nah, man, the guy who played him, he's actually very good. In fact, the bullies, when you see them, they're effective, but they're Stephen King bullies right there.
I don't know. I would disagree with you here.
You don't? Okay, why?
I wasn't buying him. He just did a lot of screaming.
Yeah, he did. I mean, if you want to take
It's screaming and scowling
like he is right there.
Yeah, and even when by the time they show you like, well, this is why he's so mad, I'm like, nah, fuck him.
Damn, they even took bullies from other movies. They got the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Exactly.
What's his name? Roderick.
Roderick.
They got Roderick and they got Malfoy over there.
That's what I kept thinking the whole time. I was
know.
like, man, they just pulling bullies from other movies.
You go a little step further. You see the Exorcist girl, and you see Damien from the Omen.
Carrie's walking down the hallway covered in blood.
Annabelle in there. Taking this from the 50s and putting it in the 80s, these kids were meant to be racist, I believe. I didn't see. I didn't read the book. Like, you can tell they want to call little Chosen. They say, yeah, you were chosen, nigga. That's what you like.
Right,
we chose you, nigga. You. But they're like chasing this kid, and they're saying things like, "Get out of my town, stay out here." And you're like, why are they saying this to this kid? And he never come out and make these bullies racist against this kid. And it's like, because it's 1989, and you guys felt like that might be out of place. Plus, it's probably a little bit of a cop out given the heated racial tension that we have today.
Sure.
And I think with Pennywise, there was a little bit of flexibility there with his power.
I came here, I spent the last day or so preparing to fight you on this. And you're saying all the stuff that I was going to say. It's weirding me out.
There are times when his powers change to where he has the powers of that girl from The Ring, where he starts coming out of electronics. Hey, I love that shit. That's a hood move.
Stop it out.
Everybody just standing there looking like, what the fuck y'all looking at this shit for? He kicked that projector across the room.
I like that. Like, nobody had the instinct to just turn the thing off.
Yeah, really? Really, y'all? God damn it.
He like, if I didn't do nothing else in this movie, I'd kick that goddamn projector. But yeah, it was like the powers were just a little flexible and they weren't consistent.
They were very inconsistent because it seemed like it started out where he was confined, but then he wasn't, and then he had the power to do almost anything at sometimes, and other times he was vulnerable.
He actually produces children's TV programming.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you got your own network.
It's like Brigsby Bear.
Yeah.
He sneaks off to a station and does those shows.
You're like the what's that dude that owns Fox News?
Rupert Murdoch.
You're like the Rupert Murdoch of the sewers and shit. You got your own TV show, and you can't get these kids easier than a sewer. And this is where y'all can get mad at me. Probably everybody in this room gonna get mad, but I believe that Stranger Things did it a lot
Holy
better.
shit, that's what I was gonna say. I've been coming up for a day and a half just to say that.
I mean, we can leave the room if y'all want to make out. Like, we do not mind.
Oh my God. We should take this on the road, Martin. Thomas and the Clown. But
I was saving it up, but
sorry, man. But no. Now, this way y'all mad. They're like, you disrespectful motherfucker. If it weren't for it and Stephen King, you wouldn't have this shit. And it'd be like, I got it, I know, but Stranger Things exist. In Stranger Things, they did things that this movie originally didn't do. In the book, they got a different decade. This is set in the 80s.
yeah.
This is following a creature that's targeting kids.
Yeah.
But they include the whole town, and everybody feels like a character. And it's a lot more consistent. Now, that's not to say that the movie is bad. Not at all, because y'all about to, here comes YouTube. Shit, I'll see y'all. Not at all. Not at all. But it's just funny how the thing that was influenced by Stephen King and it did it a lot better.
I think I like this movie a lot more than all of you guys, honestly. I really loved it. I thought these kids were great, and I thought there were a lot of good shots. And when it's scary, I did find it scary. And it actually has well-crafted jump scares in it. Like, it's not just random shit coming at you. The scene is built around it, and it is paid off with some really fucked up imagery. I give it a very enthusiastic full price.
All right.
I love this.
It's not that much of a horror movie. This is kind of goes in that same boat of like Get Out, when people are like, oh, that's a great horror movie. I was like, it's kind of like a thriller horror. Yeah. I kind of feel like this is more like a psychological drama horror movie. So yeah, it's not as scary as people are saying it is, but it still is a good movie, and I had a fun time, and it's a full price for me.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, sir.
I think it's an entertaining movie. If you want to see it, you definitely should. For me, it's a high matinee.
Yeah, and I'm right. I'm kind of caught between people. I mean, it's because I really do like this movie. I like this movie a lot, but I just don't. It's those things that I see that keep it from being in this. Because I think it's a really good movie, but not great. And it's those things that I see in there that I just complained about that it makes me want more. And I have to give it the rating that I want to for those shortcomings that are there for me. I would not tell anybody not to go see this for a full price. I mean, you will have a great time because it is that much fun. But like I said, there was some uneven filmmaking that's going on in there. Not all the tones work together. Not all the actions that these kids did were consistent too. So I for that I really. If it's especially as being from a piece of literature, I have to grade it on that right there, and I give it a very high. I mean, it's just scraping with them claws right there at a full price. I wanted to go see this in clown makeup. We talked about doing that, and I realized I can't wear this shit for 24 hours. I sit there watching a movie like this. I'm gonna tell you what happened though, because dressed like this, I had to go take a piss, and it was 5 minutes to just get out of this shit. Harry, because just by the collar alone, was Harry over there? I told Harry to tie this shit for me, and I got in there, and he tied that in the hardest knot. I said, because he said, how you tie this? I was like, it's like you tie your shoes. You don't know how to tie your shoes, do you, Harry?
He just never takes them off.
I know, you take that.
I've been wearing these shoes for years.
Yeah, I was in there just struggling. I said, fuck it, I just piss on myself, fuck it.
Hilarious, somebody walk in the bathroom, you just...